Okay, we are on to highly capable service models. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Hopkins, who's going to take you through the first few slides.
Thank you, Jen. It really has been an amazing month here in North Shore. If you think about 16,000 students going through the screening process in 16 days, very exciting work, and we're just really excited about the future of serving highly capable students in the North Shore School District. I'm going to talk just really briefly about the service models in North Shore. And I think the first thing that I would really want to emphasize when we're talking about supporting our highly capable learners is that it's not about giving them more work or giving them more projects, but it's really about going deeper and providing enrichment, providing activities that are going to really kind of feed their curiosity and feed their desire to learn. So you see just a few of the examples up here, and we're going to be talking in some of the future slides about acceleration, or this idea of compacting the curriculum. As we talk about serving highly capable students, it's still about addressing the Common Core state standards, and we just might be doing that in a little bit of a quicker way through acceleration, but we still want to get to know the needs of each student, and so we do that a lot through pre-assessment and ongoing assessment, and it's really about teachers getting to know the students, getting to know their strengths, getting to know their areas of growth, and we go about doing that through a variety of ways, as you see up here. I'm the principal at Sunrise Elementary and just have the joy of seeing this in action every day. Just all of these things are happening, as well as all of the schools in the North Shore School District. The enrichment activities, grouping kids together. One of the activities that is really popular at Sunrise is what we call Genius Hour, and it really just gives students the opportunity to explore a topic that they're interested in, and the teachers do a great job of guiding them through that process, helping them with their research, but really turning them loose and giving them the opportunity to feed that curiosity that they have. In North Shore, we have holistic services in K-1, and so what that means is that your child receives their highly capable support in their neighborhood classroom. And what this really is about differentiation. It's about the teacher, again, getting to know your child, getting to know their strengths, getting to know their needs, and then just working at differentiating to meet their needs. Now, this has been really an exciting journey in the last, I would say, 5 to 10 years, and I would say we have come so far as we look to differentiate and support all of the students in our classroom. If you think about it, one teacher, 25-ish students in a classroom, that's really difficult, complex, challenging work. But our teachers are getting better and better at it, and we're going to continue to grow in that. But that's happening in the classroom, in their neighborhood classroom, and teachers have a variety of tools that they're able to access. Notably, we have a high-cap toolbox that the teachers access, and that just is a toolbox of strategies for teachers to pick up ideas and really implement in their classroom. So that's kindergarten and first grade, and just knowing in first grade that students will reassess for specific content area of advanced learning. So we'll talk a little bit about 2nd through 5th now. I have to say, I think this is the most people I've ever spoken in front of. It's kind of daunting up here, but it's great to have all of you here. I just wanted to clarify the last point up here. So reassess for specific content area of advanced learning in first grade. So first graders will have a chance to be assessed again going into 2nd grade, and I'll kind of talk about what that's going to look like in 2nd through 5th grade. So we have students that will qualify in a single content area, so basically English language arts, or they will qualify in math, or they will qualify in both. And the service in second through fifth grade can, there's a couple different ways that this goes. So when talking about dual qualification, so qualifying in reading and in math, then there's an opportunity for students to potentially be in an elementary advanced placement class. So we have that at Sunrise Elementary. There's also the opportunity for the child to be served in their home school. Currently, there are elementary advanced placement classes at 4 schools: Bear Creek, Lockwood, Sunrise, and Woodmore. Last summer, as part of this fabulous process of really seeking to identify the potential in all of our students, there was more children that qualified, and so we were presented with the challenge of having some of the sites not have space availability. However, those students still would receive the highly capable services in their classroom. Another scenario that would come up would be that we would have children that would be duly qualified, but they really loved their neighborhood school, and they didn't want to go to a Bear Creek, a Lockwood, a Sunrise, or a Woodmore. They are invested in their school community. And so that was another real positive change in the state law a few years ago, that as part of the basic education, that we would serve highly capable students in the neighborhood school. And so that's the, and we had many cases of students wanting to stay in their neighborhood school, but we also had cases where there just was not room in the highly capable, or the EAP classes at those 4 schools. So in the EAP program in 2nd through 5th grade, again, we do that curriculum compacting that results in acceleration. And again, we're still focused on those standards. And again, it's really about assessment. And our teachers are working really hard at pre-assessment, so finding out what students know and are able to do, and then responding to that and teaching to that. Currently in the EAP classes, we go acceleration in math in 2nd and 3rd grade. We accelerate 1 year ahead. And then in 4th and 5th grade, we accelerate 2 years ahead in math. With that said, we still are paying attention to what students know and are able to do through the assessment process, and we are teaching to their needs. In the neighborhood school, it looks a little bit different, and it's really, again, about that differentiation piece. And so some of the strategies that principals might use is if they know that there are maybe 2 or 3 students that have duly qualified, the principals might cluster those students together into a class so they're in the same classroom, and they can kind of have their needs met together. Again, that differentiation. And then we utilize some online resources. One of them is 10 Marks in math. And again, this is it's a program that helps identify what students know and gives the teacher guidance on how they're going to differentiate that instruction. It may be on a pre-assessment that students know most of the content in that unit, but there's a couple key concepts that the teacher really needs to make sure that the students are participating in the lesson and engaged, because we don't want them to move forward on their math trajectory with holes. We want to make sure that by the end of that unit, they have addressed all of their needs, but also the beauty of the 10 marks is it allows them to kind of take off on and go deeper and go further with the concepts that they've already demonstrate knowledge of in the pre-assessment process. All right, grades 6 through 8.
Thanks, Steve. It's not everyone that can say the fire department came to their session before, so I can check that off my list. All right, grades 6 through 8. So we have our advanced academic or AAP placement model. Students with dual qualification receive placement option at one of our 3 sites, which are currently Canyon Park, Leota, and North Shore Middle. Those students who attend those schools already as their neighborhood school with single qualification are also often offered AAP placement into a reading and social studies or math and science, depending on their qualification. But again, it typically takes dual designation to be placed at an AAP site. It is, again, curriculum compacting for accelerated learning in these programs, and advanced courses in math, which we would want for students to continue as long as they're achieving when they transition into high school. Our neighborhood school model is, again, as Steve described, very similar in middle school as it is in elementary, where our principals are dedicated to clustering students together in challenge classes so that our high-cap students have a peer group, and a teacher has the ability to design extensions and enrichment or alternate activities for our highly capable students. And often, if you think back to the eligibility process, we have not done as thorough of a job as we are now in designating students. So it's absolutely likely that there are other students in every classroom out there that could be a peer group to highly capable designated students because they have not yet been identified. So that's something just to keep in mind. Secondary services at the high school level. We have college and career specialists in our high schools in addition to our counselors, and they're supporting students with their high school and beyond plans that start in 7th grade. There's also dual credit opportunity at the high school level, and we have a partnership with Nambiance, which is a web-based partnership and support for our students in supporting them in applications to colleges or technical colleges, identification of a career path for them beyond high school. Moving quickly, knowing that our time is ticking away, we also want to say a few words about math trajectory tonight. It's important to know that not only is our program under comprehensive program review, which has initially resulted in some major changes in our eligibility process, but also it's resulting in a little different way of speaking about math when it comes to highly capable. In previous years, you may have heard that we use this text at this grade and this text at this grade, yet our math program is also under pilot with a forthcoming recommendation about a new math program at the secondary level. So in order to be completely transparent and accurate with you tonight, our math trajectory is best described as curriculum compacting, which means that the units and lessons are given greater, or I should say quicker pacing. Students move through at a quicker pace than perhaps a typical class would. And the result of that is accelerated learning. Again, as Steve adeptly described, we do not want students moving through North Shore developing content holes. So highly capable is not about skipping math, but it's about compacting, adjusting the pacing, a quicker pace for students who typically learn with very few repetition, if any repetition is needed, and the result of that work is accelerated learning. And again, the focus is always on the math standards, and our teachers are assessing students' knowledge because we would not want for them to move on, even if a highly capable student isn't demonstrating understanding. We would want for the teacher to teach to the standard and mastery and move on quickly. I'll say a few words about algebra readiness, which was known as double jump. This is a process open to all students in North Shore, not just highly capable students. So point of contact for this is curriculum and instruction rather than highly capable department. But what I want to share with you this evening are a few details about this assessment, and the purpose is to determine whether a student is ready for algebra, and if so, where are they in that trajectory of readiness. So this year, students will be taking the Orleans-Hanna and math section of the ITBS, Iowa Test of Basic Skills. It will be a school day assessment on site during the school day rather than after school or Saturday testing as we may have structured in the past. Anticipated timeline is spring. And additionally, all 5th graders, whether you're in EAP or in a neighborhood school in a cluster model will have the opportunity to be tested for algebra readiness. This also includes 6th and 7th graders who are in kind of general math courses, not an accelerated trajectory already, but just general math. So algebra readiness is not something that you need to sign up for or nominate your student for or advocate for. It's going to automatically happen. Most importantly, for our 5th graders soon transitioning to middle school, any 5th grade student who is designated as high cap will be involved in this, math high cap I should say, will be involved in this algebra readiness process. And again, the timeline is spring. Information forthcoming, and that again is coming from curriculum and instruction rather than highly capable, but we're happy to point you in the right direction. If you're unable to find information, just reach out and we'll connect you with the right people. Just a quick summary, our Elementary Advanced Placement Program, or EAP, are students who qualify in both reading and math. You've heard us talk about how this is a full-time, unique program. And grade level configurations can be straight grades or split classes, just depending on student numbers. It's not unique to have split classes in EAP. And then at the secondary middle school level, we have Advanced Academics Program, or AAP. And again, to receive site placement in our current model, students need to be dually qualified unless they already attend one of those 3 AAP schools. Again, we want for students to continue their math trajectory, and then ELA, science, and social studies are with their cluster of students who are highly capable, and class sizes are the same class size as general education classrooms, and they do take electives with their peers, highly capable and non-designated students. Some important considerations in EAP and AAP currently are your site assignment is based on your home service area. Additionally, new this year is transportation is provided for all students in EAP and AAP. And then siblings seeking waivers, we still have that process available to you. And waivers are approved for 1 year on a space availability basis.